Exploring Life, Chapter 7. Prokaryotes, Part 2. One of the most impressive things about bacteria is their metabolic diversity. They've evolved to survive in just about every kind of environment. Some are obligate anaerobes. They thrive in environments without oxygen, and instead rely on substances like nitrates, sulfates, or carbon dioxide to fuel their metabolism. Others are obligate aerobes, which require oxygen to survive and produce energy, much like we do. Some prokaryotes take metabolism to the next level by using specialized membranes within their cells. For example, aerobic bacteria conduct cellular respiration using enfoldings of the plasma membrane, functioning somewhat like simplified mitochondria. Cyanobacteria, on the other hand, carry out photosynthesis using internal thylakoid membranes, similar to those found in plant chloroplasts. These clever adaptations show that even without organelles, bacteria have found their own way to carry out complex life processes. Early bacteria thrived in the oxygen-depleted environments of primitive Earth. But they didn't just adapt, they transformed the planet. The dominance of anaerobic bacteria helped shape early ecosystems and drove key biogeochemical cycles, like carbon and nitrogen cycling. Through their metabolic activity, these bacteria contributed to the Earth's atmospheric composition and played a vital role in forming the organic compounds that set the stage for life as we know it. One group, in particular, made a world-altering impact: Cyanobacteria. Through photosynthesis, cyanobacteria began releasing oxygen into the atmosphere, setting off the Great Oxygenation Event, around 2.4 billion years ago. The Great Oxygenation Event caused a dramatic rise in atmospheric oxygen, and triggered mass extinctions of microbes that couldn't tolerate it. This repeating cycle of oxygen buildup and collapse is known as the oxygen catastrophe. Evidence of this process is preserved in banded iron formations, or BIFs, like the 2.1 billion-year-old rock shown here. These layers formed when oxygen from cyanobacteria reacted with iron in ancient oceans, causing it to settle on the seafloor. Each band marks a cycle of microbial thriving and extinction. More than just beautiful, BIFs are ancient records of life transforming the planet. Over time, this shift in Earth's atmosphere made it possible for complex, oxygen-dependent life to evolve. But here's something important: oxygen is highly reactive. It doesn't just linger in the atmosphere forever. To stay at high levels, it must be constantly replenished by living organisms through processes like photosynthesis. That's why free oxygen is considered a powerful biosignature in the search for life on other planets. Because if oxygen is present, something is likely alive and making it. This graph shows how oxygen levels in Earth's atmosphere have changed over time. Oxygen was nearly absent until about 2.4 billion years ago, when photosynthetic bacteria began producing it, triggering the Great Oxygenation Event. Levels rose gradually, with major increases during the rise of complex life. The peak likely occurred around 300 million years ago, during the age of giant insects and lush forests. Since then, oxygen levels have declined, likely due to shifts in plant biomass, carbon cycling, and climate change, all of which affect how much oxygen remains in the atmosphere. The human body is home to hundreds of bacterial species, living in our skin, mouth, gut, and more. While some bacteria cause disease, the vast majority are harmless, and many are actually beneficial. They help with digestion, support our immune system, and even assist in producing essential compounds like vitamins. In many ways, we're not just human, we're part bacterial ecosystem. The beneficial bacteria in your gut play a major role in keeping you healthy. They help with the digestion of food, the synthesis of essential vitamins, and the regulation of your immune system. A healthy gut microbiome doesn't just support digestion, it also helps prevent disease and maintain your overall well-being. In many ways, these tiny microbes are vital partners in your health. You've probably heard of Escherichia coli, a rod-shaped bacterium found in the intestines of humans and other warm-blooded animals. Most strains are harmless, but some can cause serious illness. Because E. coli makes up a large part of human fecal bacteria, it's often used to detect contamination in water and food. And to prevent its spread, wash your hands after using the bathroom. Another two well-known groups of bacteria are Streptococcus and Staphylococcus. Streptococcus includes species that cause illnesses like strep throat and pneumonia. Staphylococcus, such as S. aureus, can cause skin infections and sometimes more serious complications. Both have spherical cells, but they differ in arrangement. Streptococcus forms chains, while Staphylococcus forms clusters, resembling bunches of grapes. Lyme disease is caused by Borrelia, a spiral-shaped bacterium transmitted through the bite of infected ticks. If left untreated, Lyme disease can lead to serious long-term complications, affecting the nervous system, joints, eyes, and even the heart. Early detection and treatment are key to preventing these complications. Fortunately, it's often easy to catch early, if you know what to look for. One of the most recognizable early symptoms is a bullseye-shaped rash, though it doesn't appear in every case. Recognizing this early sign can make a big difference in timely diagnosis and treatment. Some bacteria, like Streptomyces, are essential in antibiotic production, using fermentation to create drugs like streptomycin. Thanks to biotechnology, we can now engineer bacteria to produce therapeutic proteins and hormones, including insulin and growth factors. These advances have made bacteria powerful tools in modern drug development. Bacteria play a key role in fermentation, helping to produce foods like cheese, yogurt, and pickles. Fermentation doesn't just improve taste and texture, it also helps with preservation. Some bacteria, known as probiotics, even support digestive health when consumed. For example, Lactobacillus bulgaricus and Streptococcus thermophilus are essential for making yogurt, turning milk into a smooth, tangy, health-boosting food. This figure shows a variety of cheese types, each made with the help of specific bacterial cultures. These bacteria influence not only the texture and flavor, but also the ripening process, making each cheese unique. Bacteria play a major role in agriculture, especially in nutrient cycling and improving soil fertility. Some bacteria help promote plant growth and support healthy crop production. But not all bacteria are helpful. Pathogenic strains can cause plant diseases and reduce yields. That's why managing bacterial interactions is essential for sustainable and productive farming. Some bacteria have the remarkable ability to break down toxic pollutants, including hydrocarbons, pesticides, and heavy metals. This process, known as bioremediation, plays a key role in detoxifying and restoring polluted environments. In some cases, scientists use bioaugmentation, adding specific bacterial strains to speed up the cleanup. Through these methods, bacteria help mitigate pollution and support the recovery of damaged ecosystems. This photo shows the response to the Exxon Valdez oil spill in Alaska. In the left image, workers sprayed oil off the beaches and used floating booms to contain it for surface skimming. But the full cleanup relied on oil-degrading bacteria, which helped break down the remaining hydrocarbons naturally. In the right image, we see the tragic impact on wildlife, a powerful reminder that oil spills can devastate entire ecosystems, not just shorelines. Bacteria also play a role in the energy sector, particularly in the production of biofuels. Through anaerobic digestion and fermentation, they can convert organic waste into biogas and bioethanol. These are renewable energy sources that help reduce our dependence on fossil fuels. By harnessing bacteria, we're finding cleaner ways to support sustainable energy development. Bacteria are everywhere, including on spacecrafts. Even with strict sterilization, some microbes always slip through. Ironically, our machines might not survive on Mars, but our microbes just might. So if we ever find life there, we'll have to ask: did it begin on Mars, or did we bring it ourselves? Should we draw a line and risk damaging our instruments with harsh sterilization? Or accept that life spreads where it can? Now let's talk about viruses. Viruses are obligate intracellular parasites, meaning they can only replicate inside a host cell. Outside the host, they're inert, unable to grow, reproduce, or carry out metabolism on their own. Structurally, they're simple. A protein shell called a capsid surrounds genetic material, which can be either DNA or RNA. And while viruses aren't considered truly alive, finding them beyond Earth would strongly suggest the presence of life, at least in some form. That's why they deserve our attention here. Viruses have a simple but effective structure. At the core is their genetic material, which can be either DNA or RNA, depending on the virus. Surrounding it is the capsid, a protective protein shell. Some viruses also have a lipid envelope, which they steal from the host cell's membrane as they exit. On the surface, glycoproteins are embedded. These act like keys, helping the virus recognize and attach to specific host cells, allowing it to begin infection. In this image, you're looking at the reproductive cycle of the influenza virus. The virus uses glycoproteins on its surface to attach to a host epithelial cell, the type of cell that lines your airways. Once attached, the virus is engulfed by the cell. Inside, it releases its RNA and hijacks the cell's machinery to make viral proteins and assemble new virions, or virus particles, ready to spread. Viruses play an important role in ecosystems, especially in aquatic environments. They help control populations of microorganisms like bacteria and algae, preventing overgrowth. By breaking down these cells, viruses also recycle organic matter, supporting nutrient cycling throughout the ecosystem. Viruses impact human health in two major ways. First, they cause many infectious diseases, including the common cold, influenza, and COVID-19. But they also play a positive role in science. Viruses are powerful tools in biotechnology, especially in gene therapy and vaccine development. In CAR-T cell therapy, a modified form of HIV is used, not to cause illness, but to help treat cancer. Viruses can serve as vectors, delivering therapeutic genes directly into patient cells. Their ability to enter cells makes them powerful tools in gene therapy and vaccine development. By using viral mechanisms, we can train the immune system to recognize and fight diseases more effectively. Viruses have co-evolved with their hosts over millions of years. Some viral DNA, like that of human endogenous retroviruses, was accidentally left behind in the host genome and became a permanent part, passed down through generations. Yes, you heard that right. We carry viral genetic material in our own DNA. But that's not all. Occasionally, viruses pick up bits of genetic material from one host and transfer them to another. When this happens, they act like gene shuttles, moving DNA across species. In this way, viruses play surprising and important roles in evolution, adaptation, and even the development of complex life. And despite all of this, they're still not alive. It's time for review. Take notes, revisit slides, and move at your own pace as you work through the questions. No pressure, take your time and really think about what you've learned. And remember, going back to find an answer isn't cheating, it's strategic time travel. At least for now.